pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, everybody, into Sim Racing Media tonight. The drivers of the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series head to Chicagoland. I'm Mike Demoney up in the booth, filling in for Dave while he is out enjoying himself down in Myrtle Beach. We will go over kind of what went race results from last week. Not last week, couple weeks off. We had Indianapolis Motor Speedway back on July 22nd. Parker Retzlaff was able to bring home the win, leading 52 of the 104 laps. Ethan Ball second, Sylvan Jolly back there in P3. Current point leader Mike McConville up there with 587 points. Couple points to the good of Brandon Minto, Sylvan Jolly, Ethan Ball, Eugenio Alonso, Nick Harrison, and Parker Retzlaff. Parker Retzlaff has been on a tear. He won back on June 17th at Iowa Speedway, has not looked back since. He won at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Nashville Super Speedway, the Chicago Street Course, Pocono, and of course, the 22nd there at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So how will tonight go? We will have to tune in and find out. Once again, these drivers are making their way through their qualifying laps here. If we can find a driver out on track. And we have Brockton Packard finished his second lap with a 30.80. Parker Retzlaff right now on top of the pylon with a 30.37. So continuing right where he left off a couple weeks ago. We also looks like we have Mike McConville getting ready to come out in that number 1 Chevy here. He's getting those tires warmed up, getting ready to roll. After these guys complete their qualifying laps, see if we can get a couple of them up here in the booth, talk about their plans here at Chicagoland, as we are set for 200 laps of fun and excitement here. These guys get ready to roll. Going up to the high line, trying to get as close as he can to the wall, get as much speed built up into that Xfinity Chevy as he can. Coming down the front stretch, gets right down almost on that yellow line as he gets the green flag here to start his hot laps. Goes out to the wall. Looks like he got a little bit loose there. Coming through 1 and 2, we'll see what he can do when he gets through 3 and 4 here. Track temperature is a blistering 96 degrees, ambient air only 72, so not too bad as far as the air temperature, but track temperature is hot. And he goes P3, 30.50 for McConville. John Buwalda on pit lane, getting ready to roll off here. We'll see if he's going to take his laps or not. These guys did have a couple weeks off for the Olympic break, but here at Chicagoland this week, head off to Michigan International Speedway, and they'll wrap up August at Daytona International Speedway. So those 3 tracks are what's in their future. Like Buwalda is not making a run here as time has expired. So Austin Call, Sam Bolin, Rich Jett, Steve Hurring, John Wilco, and John Buwalda did not take a run. We'll see if we can bring up those qualifying results here. The Parker Retzlaff with a 30.366. Claude Ferdinand and Mike McConville round out that top 3. Moynihan, Curtis round out the top 5. And we have Mickelson and Brandon Minto back there as well. These guys are rolling off. Let's see if we can maybe get a word here. With Parker. You can find him here in the chat. Hey, Parker, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, got you.
Hey, man. Well, looks like you're going to continue your tear of qualifying runs here and wind up on the pole once again. How's it racing out there on Chicagoland right now?
I mean, I haven't done very many laps here, but with how I felt the top lane works, the bottom works, I think it'll be a really good race, and I think that you'll see it move around a lot. I really like the top. I think my car feels really good on the top, so I'm thinking that we'll see people move up there and probably end up making some time at the end of the runs up there.
Definitely. Any strategy kind of playing out here as you work your way through these warm-up laps here?
Nah, I don't have any strategy right now. I mean, I'm kind of just gonna, unless something happens, I'm just gonna keep it basic and, you know, pit at both stages and try and take the least amount of fuel I can and win under green in the third stage there.
Definitely, man. Well, I will let you go and get back to practicing. And then I'll maybe talk to you later in the race.
Thank you.
So that was the pole setter once again. See here. So you can see how these guys are kind of moving around, trying to figure out where they want to be. Several different lines working. Just about wrapping up their warm-up laps here. See McConville get a little bit loose. We've seen a couple drivers kind of get that way, especially with how hot the track is. We've seen them start to slide just a little bit. We'll see if that's going to play an issue. They do have 6 sets of tires laying in the pits. Michigan Rocker cheering on Minto in the chat. I'll see you guys showing up in the chat. Anything you want to talk about? Any predictions you have here? See Minto out here running up on the wall. Norman, Oklahoma. So they are done with their warm-up. They get strapped in for their rides. Everybody get in, and we'll go through the starting grid here. Go on down to the track. Parker Retzloff is going to lead them to the green flag once again. He's done it the last few weeks. We'll see what he can do on Chicagoland here. Gonna go for win number 8 in a row, 9 on the season. Just to his outside is Claude Ferdlin. Mike McConville in the number 1 Chevy is gonna start P3. He jumped out for a moment there. Daniel Moynihan is going to close out row 2. Row 3, Trent Curtis and Dennis Mickelson. John Crow Sr. and Nick Hansen going to roll off in row 4. Row 5, Brandon Minto and Sylvan Jolly. Gabriel Lafayette, as they are rolling off quickly here. Let them get back set up. Ron Fitting going to roll off P16. Michael Parley and RP Allen 14th and 15th. Braxton Packard and Aaron Mack Back there in row 9, row 10, Chris Claude and Richard Brett, Matt Mackin and Randall Watkins in row 11. Row 12, Tyler Sexton and Keith Black, Derek McCorn and Dan Morgan. Cody Morgan is going to be there as well. Tony Burt not quite the qualifying run he wanted. Andrew Deemer back there in 29th. Austin Call, Sam Bolin, Jet and Harding. And we are getting ready to roll here. Pace car is in, and it is time to let these drivers show us what Chicagoland can do. Parker Retzlaff through the restart zone. Green flag is out, and we are underway here in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series. Retzlaff's in the middle. Mike McConville goes down to the inside, going to try and test him early in this run. And Parker Retzlaff slides up to the high side, gets a little better run coming off the corner. Claude Ferdland back there in second. McConville lost a little bit of ground after trying to make that aggressive move. Trent Curtis in the middle in the 13 Chevy slides up in front of Daniel Monahan. Mike McConville's going backwards a little bit as well as we work our way through the race here, through the opening lap. McConville's already lost a couple spots there after trying to take into the wall. He goes like Monahan as he's going to lose a couple spots. Mickelson going to get by in the middle. We have Ferdland, Curtis, and Retzlaff up here. 1, 2, 3 now. Curtis driving down on the apron through the front stretch. Mike McConville, and then we'll go back to, looks like John Crow down on the inside here, trying to get a couple spots. He's up 2 right now in that 95 Toyota. Into the grass, looks like it might have been Brandon Minto into the grass, trying to get around on the front stretch, cut it as much as he could, probably a little more than he was wanting there. Like the 99, Nick Hansen got into the wall just a little bit as he was a little bit loose coming out of 1 and 2 there. There are battles all over the track here. Ethan Ball trying to make a couple spots there. He loses one there to Aaron Mack as he gets by on the inside. Ball going to fall in line behind. And Minto tucked in tight with RP Allen. Condell makes his way back up inside the top 5, running just behind Parker Retzlaff and Claude. And they have a gap to make up, though, to get to the top 2. As Monahan and Crow Sr. get together, bounce off of each other just a little bit, but they stay going in the right direction. As they're running 5th and 6th right now. Dennis Mickelson down the spot. RP Allen, biggest mover in the race at the moment, up 7 spots in that 7 Chevy. He cuts the front stretch. Trent Curtis out in front now, up 4 spots. RP Allen takes another one as he's working that. Was working that high line fairly well here. And he goes back down to the bottom. 7 machine. Closing in on Parker Retzlaff. Like the first 10 or so are pretty well straight headed down the backstretch. Fan out as they come through 3 and 4 here and then try and get right back into that straight line. Fan out through the front stretch, the 06 of Gabriel Lafreniere. Up 3 spots. And ride patiently behind John Crow Sr. 2 by 2 they are at the moment. Looks like Crow almost slid up in front of the 20 or the 95 there in the 06. Are dealing with the 25 Chevy of Dennis Mickelson. Mickelson falling back pretty quickly here. He has Aaron Mack going to be down to his inside. Brandon Minto just behind him. As Mickelson goes to the high side, Mack goes down low, and it looks like Brandon Minto's also going to follow him down on that bottom side. McConville's battling with Erland as they are side by side. McConville trying to get another spot here. He is the current point leader, but he has got to be a little worried with as well as Parker Retzlaff has been running lately. If Parker can make up ground and get a little bit closer in this points battle here. And Furlan is going backwards in a hurry as Moynihan gets by in that 53 Ford. 12 laps in here. RP Allen up 10 spots. We've got that 7 Chevy moving in the right direction and moving in a hurry here. Furlan goes up to the high side, trying to stay as close as he can to the wall, try and get a little bit more speed, maybe if that Ford handles a little bit better up on that high line. It's still fairly warm track temp here as well, so McConville looks like he's closing in on Curtis, going to go down to the inside, try and make a pass for the lead. McConville, Curtis side by side. Curtis goes clear up on the wall, trying to get some momentum coming out of turn number 4. See if he's going to be able to hold on. McConville drops down and is going to lead that lap. McConville, Curtis still side by side. Still side by side. They've been side by side for the last couple laps. Curtis gets a little bit better run coming off of 2, but McConville gets a little bit better run coming off of 4, and he will slide up in front of Curtis. Curtis stays right with him. McConville does not go down to the apron that time by, as he's trying to stay right in front of that 13 machine. We got almost 3 wide action back behind him. Ferdinand Retzlaff and Allen. Looks like RP Allen's going back the other way. Maybe he burnt up his stuff a little bit here as Aaron Mack also gets by. Aaron Mack, RP Allen, still side by side here. Just behind them, you got Mickelson and Crow Sr. here. RP Allen still battling pretty tough here. Retzlaff trying to get back to the front as he falls in front of Ferdland. single flat out pretty well here in the top 5. 25 and Nickerson gets a little bit loose there, almost into the wall. Also looks like the 31 machine is going to try and get by the number 43 Ford of Claude Ferdlin. Aaron Mack up 11 spots. And the biggest mover of the race after RP Allen went backwards a few spots. RP Allen is right behind him. Now Max trying to close in there on the 43 machine. RP Allen from up in my neck of the woods, just a little bit further north than myself, as he gets a little loose. Able to gather that number 7 machine in and stay pointed in the right direction. But 20 laps in, those tires have got to be feeling a little bit aware, especially with how many positions RP Allen has made up here. It looks like Nicholson's going to try and get by on the high side. Still side by side they go. Get back in line. Aaron Mack driving down to the inside. After watching that, Retzloff was able to get by the 13 of Frank Curtis and is now closing in on Mike McConville. Elsie's battling back on the track here. Go back through the field. Brandon Minto, Norman, Oklahoma. Up a little, or down one spot from where he started. Nick Hansen down a couple as well from Cleveland, Ohio. Warren here did not have a good qualifying effort. He's up 7 spots though in that 23 Toyota. Looks like he's trying to maintain his position here. Just in front of him though, it looks like Ron Fitting is getting a little pressure there from Brockton Packard. Going to try and get a couple here. He goes down to the inside, going to get by the 08 of Sylvan Jolly, maybe. Looks like he might have got a little loose, had to gather that car in, pull out of the throttle just a bit. Side by side they go here. And he will dive it in once again. Still side by side. Retzloff made a pass for the lead. So Retzloff, McConville, no strangers to one another here in the Monday Night Xfinity Series. .25 or 26 laps into 200 laps. The drivers you expected to see towards the front are doing just that. But Parker Retzloff is slowly driving away. He is out to almost 3/4 of a second lead over Mike McConville. Frank Curtis, 3/10 back. Going to go back here and have some battling back with Minto, Hansen, Crow, Stock, and Ball all hanging around each other, making passes back and forth. Sim was trying to get by Crow. Crow moved down to the inside line, just in front. Battling back here as well. Battling almost throughout the field. This is 19th, 18th, and 17th. The 23 goes down to the inside of the 63 of Packard, and he's going to try and take away the spot as it comes through the front stretch here. 63 still maintains the lead. Dan Morgan trying to close in on Austin Call. Austin Call driving that 40 Aflac Toyota. Slowly closing in on Keith Black here. Of Sam Bolin, up 11 spots, running P20 just in front of him though. We got Packard and Bolin and Pruitt all kind of going in around each other. I thank everybody for tuning in here on Sim Racing Media. One of our only series we broadcast here on Monday night. Dave's off on vacation. 2 weeks was not enough. He had to take another one. He is enjoying the beach right now. Back up to the front. Nothing much has changed as Retzlaff and McConville are in a race almost all their own. Retzlaff almost staying about 3/4, a little under a second in front of McConville. And Trent Curtis is a second back from second place. He's got a decent gap, though, down to the inside of that 53 Ford of Daniel Moynihan. And Dennis Nicholson. Claude Furlan up in down in 6 positions, lost 4 after the start here, and it looks like Mickelson gets a little loose into that wall. Aaron Mack trying to take another position here with him and RP Allen side by side. Little bump there from RP Allen to Aaron Mack. The door dinging, banging as they come through the front stretch. Still side by side is RP Allen and Mack. Let's see if we can go take a look on board here with RP Allen. Side by side, gets a little loose there, able to gather that 7 machine back in. Gonna lose I'd say he's gonna lose a couple spots, but it looks like he might only have Aaron Mack that gets by, but he's got that 7 machine back under control. A little bit loose again, coming off of 4. Seen that a couple times here. And Mack is gonna take that position. Aaron Mack up 10 spots, biggest mover of the race. Like RP Allen's going to try and take that spot back. Minto and Talk back there as well. Side by side, trying to figure out where they want to go. Load a machine on that 97. Have to become a little partial there to that 97 Chevy. Parker Retzloff has now caught lap traffic. Just made his way by Don Bawalda. Now that gap that was just 3/4 of a second is almost 2, as Retzloff has been able to work his way around lap traffic pretty much without incident here. Conville does get by Bawalda there. Andrew Deemer goes a lap down. Got a three-way battle here for 4th position. Moynihan, Furland, and Mickelson. And right now, the 53 Ford, Moynihan, is winning this battle. Still have RP Allen and Aaron Mack going back and forth. Right now RP Allen is getting the better of it, and we have a cluster of guys back here. It looks like the Napa machine of Cody Morgan hard off the wall. Bounced a couple times. He was able to keep it under control, so nothing, no real issue other than to himself, it looks like here. His own. He's got over a 2-second lead now. Much battle back here mid-pack. RP Allen and Aaron Mack kind of going back and forth. The 12 machine of Brandon Minto also there. Nick Hansen, John Crow Sr. all trying to close in here as they're starting to spread out just a little bit. Everybody with different wear on their tires, trying to hold it together as you see this 95 Toyota there get a little loose, almost drifting his way through the corner. Back up, we have Ethan Ball and Tyler Chalk back here. John Bawalda several laps down. Like just in front of them, we have a cluster of guys still battling for that fifth spot. Looks like Moynihan bounced off the wall just a little bit further and trying to take advantage. RP Allen, Aaron Mack can't get away from each other either, as it looks like RP Allen has decided to go to the high side. Usually we've seen him run that low line. They pretty close to the white line around most of the track. And here they go off into 1 and 2. Still fairly close. Looks like RP Allen's going to try and get by Claude. Ooh, RP Allen had that back end drift just a little bit. Looks like he had to take his foot out of the throttle, but he's still side by side with Ferdland here. And now he is looking to go inside the top 5 once again. RP Allen up 10 spots here, running door to door with the 53 machine of Daniel Moynihan. Getting a little push there from Claude Ferdland, and we are under caution. that is the end of stage number 1. So Parker Retzlaff will win stage 1. Everybody's going to come down pit lane, it looks like. If we can get a hold of Parker once again. Parker, Mike up in the booth, man. Heck of a stage win.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looked like you kind of had a strategy maybe to save tires a little bit in the early part of that stage, went back 7th or 8th, and then came charging there at the end. How's the track out there?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think like I said earlier, I haven't really done very many laps here, but I just tried practicing tire wears. I knew that tires were going to matter, so I just kind of chilled out there for probably the first 15 to 20 laps and just let everyone else around me go hard, and kind of waited till they burn their stuff up and I could run a lane that their car no longer allowed them to do, and it allowed me to get back to the lead and get clean air there at the end of that stage when everyone else was struggling a little bit more. So I think that's my plan for the whole race, and we'll see if anybody catches on.
Sounds like a plan. Well, congrats again, once again, on your stage win, and maybe we'll talk to you at the end of stage 2.
Thank you.
So strategy worked to perfection in stage 1. We'll see what he can do at the end of stage number 2. Stage number 2 is going to be on lap 90, so they should be good to go. A little bit shorter than the first stage after these caution laps are rolled off, and then it will be a 110 laps to the end of the race. We'll have the man who's been dominating the races here, starting on the pole. He will lead us to the green flag, Parker Retzlaff. Mike McConville is going to be just to probably, I'm going to say, probably his inside, as it looks like Parker's going to choose the high side. Stacked up once again here. On board with our race leader. We get ready to roll once again, coming down the backstretch. There's a couple drivers that took advantage. They took advantage of pit road, or what happened? But they're both up 19 spots, and that's going to be back in row number 6. Austin Call and Sam Bolin, both up 19 spots. We'll see what they were able to do to get those positions there. The biggest movers of the race right at the moment. We have a few that looks like they might have got caught speeding or had a little bit of damage, but we are ready to roll once again. Retzlaff with the button on the high lane through the Geico restart zone, and he is down and away. He'll stay up in the high lane as he sets sail off into turn number 1. Mike McConville down on the bottom lane. Trent Curtis trying to make his way back up towards the front. He was running 1-2 for the first basically 15 laps. Dennis Mickelson back there as well. RP Allen trying to get all the good he can out of those new shoes as he is pushing himself towards the front once again. Just outside the top 5, running P6 is that number 7 Chevy. And just as I say that, McConville Curtis and Reslov 3 wide. Reslov stuck in the middle, not where you want to be, really, as can lead to you getting a little bit loose, but he manages it well. And Birdland and 25 of Mickelson. We will take a look and see what happened here. RP Allen back there. RP Allen almost forces it. Oh, RP Allen goes from the high side to the bottom side, hits Dennis Mickelson, shoots him up into the wall, comes back down, does Mickelson, and collects RP Allen. Mickelson gets stuck in the middle there. Like everybody else is able to avoid it. Look here. Forward here with RP Allen. Like he gets a pretty good run as the 43 of Claude Furlan gets a little loose, so he goes down to the inside trying to squeeze it in between. The 25 comes up just a little bit, and there is nowhere for RP Allen to go. Had to take his foot off of the throttle in order to avoid that, and it looks like he just didn't quite get enough to do that. Still on. These three drivers running 1, 2, 3. Conville, Curtis, and Reslov. We're having a pretty good battle there, 3 wide for a little bit. See what they can do once they get back. The green flag racing here. What the track temperature has done while we have been racing these 55 laps. Drop down below 90 now. 89 degrees is the track temp. So it looks like it's going to start cooling off some more. Lights are out on the pace car. This time Reslov goes down to the bottom. He's going to take the inside lane. Of course, Trent Curtis up to the high side. Conville also goes to the bottom, so that is where they will start. It's stacked up once again. with our race leader. Has a points leader just behind him. Ready to head to the Geico restart zone. He is down and away towards the end of the restart zone. He's got a pretty good jump. Mike McConville staying right with him. 1-2 they go, headed off into turn number 1. Trent Curtis, Brandon Minto are hooked up as well. Side by side were the 99 and 31 of Nick Hansen and Aaron Mack. Hansen tries to go to the high side, and we are wrecking once again. Looks like Sam Bolin goes around. He's off the racing surface, so we will stay green. And now we have another one. Nick Hansen, the 99 machine. Yeah, so the 99 gets loose, clips the 31 machine. Both of them are sideways. 23 trying to get by. 72 squeezes up with the 3. 63 runs right into the side of the 99. So does the 27. 87 can't check up. Rear ends the 27, and they are stacked up. Then we'll take a look here at the first part here. Yeah, it looks like Sam Bolin just got loose. Went down through the infield. He was able to get back going. A caution came out. So the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series had been here one time before, back in June of 2022. And that was won by Mike Wright. Doesn't look like he calls this series home anymore, but Brandon Minto came away with P2. Aaron Mack also up there inside the top 5. So some names that you are used to seeing. Ran a couple years ago and ran fairly well. So here we go again, getting ready to get stacked back up on lap number 60. So where will Parker choose this time? Down on the inside or up on the high side? But he chooses down on the inside, as he's going to have Mike Kondo behind him. And he wants to keep that number 1 Chevy behind him. Austin Call in that 40 Toyota has made all the right moves and avoided all the incidents so far on track. He is up 24 spots. the 58 of Cody Morgan, up 19 spots, currently running P8. Saw him bounce off the wall a couple times, but he's been able to keep that Napa machine going in the right direction as well. Don Wilco also back here in 13th, up 21 spots. So as they get ready to roll, they are stacked up. Going to be coming to green to start lap number 62. Like Parker's having little connection issues. Ready to come to the green flag. Pace car's going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit lane. Retzlaff's going to have the field in his control as he gets ready to hit that Geico restart zone. He is down and away about halfway through, and he gets a pretty good jump this time on both McConville and Curtis as he sets sail, goes up to the high line, going to get a little more run into turn number 1 here. Curtis and McConville side by side. McConville slides up in front of the 12 of Brandon Minto. Austin Call staying down on the bottom, going to try and go side by side with Minto. McConville goes down to the bottom, just in front of Call. Pro Senior and Choco side by side as well. 97 Kubota Orange Machine trying to make his way back towards the front. I think we have the driver go off track towards the back, and that is the 29 machine of Michael Pardelay. Wilco and Gabriel Lafone. Ron Fitting, Sylvan Jolie side by side as well. You got the 63 and the 23 of Derek McCorn. Paul is still side by side, and it looks like Cody Morgan is almost going to force it 3 wide in the middle as he had a massive run. Thought better of it. Going to fall in behind Call, make their way through the front stretch here. We've got 65 laps going, and Retzlaff and Curtis side by side for the lead. McConville almost into that outside wall as he slid up from the bottom lane, clear to the outside. But Retzlaff and Curtis side by side for the lead. Curtis down on the inside, Retzlaff on the high side, coming through the front stretch. Who's it going to be to lead this lap? And it looks like it might have been Curtis just in the instant of the line. Conville and Minto side by side. Conville gets almost into that outside wall. They're able to get back by. Still side by side for the lead. Retzlaff Curtis. Curtis gets by just an inch or two, and Retzlaff comes battling back on the high side. Looks like those 15 laps of caution on the tires there probably are going to set Parker Retzlaff off in a good position here, as he is. Doesn't seem like he's trying to save as much tire as he was earlier in this run, or earlier in the first run here, as he went back almost 10th position before he came back up through the field. As he is still side by side with Trent Curtis. Like Minto and Pro Senior have Settled third and fourth, Chalk and McConville. McConville lost a couple spots. Maybe he's doing a little bit of tire saving here as well, as we are 68 laps through, working on lap 69, still battling side by side for the lead. Reslov Curtis. There is a battle back here as well, the 67. And looks like the 35 there of Tyler Sexton and Sam Bolin side by side for a little bit as well. Looks like Ron Fitting lost a couple spots as he was up on the high side, not really where he wanted to be. Got passed by Austin Call and Cody Morgan. And we are still battling hot and heavy up here for the lead. Reslov Curtis side by side, inside, outside. Lap car stays down out of the way. Reslov up almost in the very outside lane, able to get a lot of momentum coming off of turn number 4. And he will get car length and a half in front of Trent Curtis. 5, 13, and 12 are the top 3, with the 95 of Crow and the 97 of Chalk back there as well. Austin Call 21 spots to the good, as he did not put down a qualifying lap, but he's got Cody Morgan in the 58 Napa machine working all over his back bumper. Just to their outside, though, is going to be Gabriel Laflamme in that 06 machine running P11. But with that being said, I'm going to step aside for a little bit, catch my breath. We got just over 15 laps here till the stage break. I'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Sim Racing Media.
There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen One Lawn Care. Preen One does away with the hassle of multiple bags of different products. It has everything you need for a beautiful lawn in one bag. And all it takes is one application. For season-long weed control and feeding, apply the granules when the lawn is wet and weeds are actively growing. It blocks crabgrass all season. It prevents crabgrass seeds from growing. It kills the seedlings too, even when applied 4 weeks after they sprout. It's your best defense against tough weeds like dandelion, chickweed, henbit, and hundreds more. Plus, its slow-release formula feeds the lawn evenly for months to build stronger roots for maximum heat and drought resistance. Preen One delivers convenience and better performance in one package with one application. Spend more time enjoying your lawn and less time working on it. Preen One, and it's done. It's a lawn dream come true.
Imagine a theater experience so real you're part of the action. Breakthrough technology that shakes your seat at precisely the right moment so you can feel the action on the screen. Choose 4D Cinemas powered by Butt Kicker for the ultimate theater experience. And for the ultimate in movies, gaming, and sports at home, add your own Butt Kicker. A simple, wireless, affordable device that takes just seconds to install. Text the word on the screen right now to receive a special offer. Get Butt Kicker and feel what you've been missing.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You didn't miss anything as we went side by side there. I am Mike Timoni up in the booth. Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series is live at Chicagoland. Do a quick little rundown here of the race so far. Parker Reslov was able to get the pole once again, lead and win the first stage as we are working our way towards stage number 2, which is going to come to a close on lap 90. Parker Reslov has had his hands full here with the 13 Chevy of Trent Curtis. as they go side by side, back and forth. They've been battling pretty hot and heavy here early in this run. Mike McConville went back to P6, and now he is on the move back towards the front. Must have taken a page out of Resloff's books, as he is now trying to close the gap, get up into P2, and try and battle here for the stage victory. Tyler Chalk was running towards the back. Looks like he maybe made a little bit different pitch strategy calls, as he was able to take advantage, come up 7 spots, running P4 at the moment. Brandon Minto was running inside the top 5 for quite a while here. Looks like he might be going the wrong way here. Maybe used up his stuff just a little bit too much, but he is running P5 at the moment, up 4 spots. John Crow Sr. just faded back to 7th as he got passed by Brockton Packard. Packard up 12 spots. They're still battling here inside, outside. Austin Call, biggest mover of the race in that number 40 Toyota, as that Aflac paint job working nice tonight, as he is up 22 spots, running P8. P7 there, as he goes up 23 right there. Cody Morgan in that Napa machine bounced off the wall a couple times early in the race, has had that 58 machine, though, moving in the right direction. Up 18 spots is it for that number 58 Toyota. Rounding out the top 10 is the number 3 Toyota of Ron Fitting. He is working his way back up inside the top 10. John Wilco sitting just outside of it, as he is trying to close in on Fitting. But that is the top 10 as they run on track. We've got a few drivers that are out for the moment, like RP Allen, after getting involved in caution on the first caution on lap 51, had called it a night. Richard Pruitt also out. It looks like Rich Jett is out. Nick Hansen spending extended time on pit lane. Ronda Watkins also called it a night, as Daniel Moynihan also did. Oh, no. Moynihan's still out on track. He is working lap 63, so he's about 20 laps down here. Aaron Mack also down quite a few. Keith Black, John Bawalda, Aaron Deemer, and Honey Burt is also down to 2 or 3 as well. One of the drivers that started on the front row, Claude Furman, is down a few laps, as well as he had an incident there on lap 51, but he has battled back. He is on the lead lap still, just on the tail end of it, about 26 seconds behind our race leader, Parker Retzloff. Six laps until the stage break, so we'll see some guys probably trying to make a few moves here, as McConville got a little bit loose on the rear there, sliding up the track. The 97 Chevy of Tyler Talk also up here. Trent Curtis trying to stay inside that top 5. Minto hanging on as well. Austin Call running well. And we've got a few drivers back here. The driver that's probably going to be under a lot of pressure is going to be number 3 Toyota of Ron Fitting. He's got almost 0.4 of a second lead over John Wilco, but Gabriel Lafreniere is also trying to close in here to get a piece of those stage points. Just outside that top 10, everybody battling pretty good back here. 52 of John Wilco running as low as he can on that front stretch. Slow car down to the inside on the apron. Shooting the gap there was Jerry McLaurin. lost all momentum as now he is running P18 after running P11. So everybody making their way around here. Still trying to close the gap on the driver in that 10th spot, and that is Ron Finney. But up front still is Parker Resloff, Michael Conville, Trent Curtis, Chalk, and Brandon Minto. Top 5 as they run on track. And we'll log these laps until they get to that stage break. Everybody will come down, get their set of tires, and reset the race and see what happens. See who decides to pit where. Well, forward of Brandon Minto also hanging on here just to that top 5. He's got a healthy gap back to Austin Call, so no real pressure on that 12 machine to push it any harder than he has to. As soon as they finish this lap, that caution flag will wave, and we will gonna make their way down pit lane. And Parker Resloff's gonna sweep the stages here. Caution comes out, and Ron Fitting was able to hang on to P10. We know they can at least make it 45 laps on a run here. Problem with that is the last stage of the race, 110 laps. See if drivers are gonna try and just split it in half. If they're going to be able to just one-stop this final section. So as I said, everybody's going to come down pit lane. Parker is staying out. That being said, let's see if we can talk to stage winner here. Parker, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy again?
I got you.
Well, you sweep the stages here, and then you go off strategy from everybody else, elect to stay out here. How's that car feeling now?
I mean, the car is really good, and I'm not going to try and admit like I meant to stay out. I was trying to look up something, and I ended up accidentally not pitting. So I'm on pit right now, and I will be at the back, but I will continue to fight and try and make it back to the front.
I was wondering what happened, because it didn't seem like that was a sound strategy call the way these tires have been wearing here. So you'll start at the back, work your way through the field. Any sort of different strategy trying to work your way back through the field?
No, I mean I'll be good for fuel and stuff. I got a couple tricks. I'll make sure I'm back up there at the front and racing for this lead.
Definitely, man. Well, I will let you get back to it, and maybe I'll talk to you after the race.
Thank you.
So that was the stage winner there. He will have his hands full with, we'll say, 21 drivers in front of him. He did fade back earlier in stage number 1 to, I believe, 11th or 12th, not too far out of that top 10. And he was able to work his way back by the time the stage ended to battle for the stage win. And he actually wound up starting to pull away at the end of stage 1. So we'll see what happens. We will have different drivers leading the field to green. Looks like Mike McConville will be up there taking the green flag. Trent Curtis just to his outside, or inside, as McConville chooses the outside. So they're stacked back up. Like we got 24 cars on the lead lap. Reslov going to start back in, looks like P17 as they all get stacked up here. McConville on the high side. He is going to be the control star when we get to that Geico restart zone. Pace car's going to make that left-hand turn. And we are under McConville's control as he gets ready to go. Cuts down just a little bit to the inside, and he's going to get a pretty good jump here on Trent Curtis. Trent Curtis is going to go to the high side. McConville likes to stay with him there. 1-2 headed through 1 and 2 here. Minto chalk call. McConville is under pressure now from Trent Curtis. Trent Curtis working that high line to perfection. He was able to lead quite a few laps early in stage 1. Now we have Cody Morgan and Tyler Chalk back here side by side. Convo goes down to the inside. Looks like the 12 machine, Brandon Minto, got a little loose coming through 1 and 2. On P3 as Cody Morgan slides up the track a little bit and get any ground he can. And the 5 machine, Parker Reslov, already running inside the top 10. Cody Morgan got loose, and he is losing ground here as he is faded back to P8 right now, just to the inside of Austin Call. Parker Reslov stuck in the middle, trying to figure out the best way around, and he's going to go down to the inside, going to cut the track as much as he can. Fastest lap of the race, 31:10, and see if he goes a little bit faster that time. Not quite, but he is still 3 wide on the bottom. Cody Morgan 3 wide in the middle. Austin Call backs out of it. Going to let these guys try and settle it in front of him. And they are still battling for second place. Brandon Minto, Tyler Chalk, and McConville. halfway through here when we complete this lap. Trent Curtis is pulling away ever so slightly. He's 0.6 in front of Brandon Minto, and it looks like we've got massive action back here. Cody Morgan, Austin Call. Caution flag is out for the 5th time tonight. If you can see what happened back here. Got Cody Morgan. Still good right now. Oh, Cody Morgan just turns down the track right into Austin Call, bounces off, hits the 08. The 3 of Fitting barely gets by. The 08 is going to have some damage there. Sylvan Joy, Austin Call gets hit a couple more times. Looks like Chris Claude might have had a pretty good view here of everything that happened. Let's see if we can take a look. He's able to work his way through all of it there. He's that number 10 machine of Chris Claude. Few drivers electing to pit now on lap 102. Like Wilco, Claude, Mickelson, Verland, Jolie, Morgan, Call, all making their way down pit lane. Didn't take too long for that number 5 Chevy to make his way back up inside the top 10. Ten laps from when he pitted, and he's already running P8 now. Look for him to make a couple quick moves here. He's only going to be 4 rows back. Brent Curtis, Brandon Minto, running 1-2, Tyler Chalk, and Mike McConville will be in row 2 with Sam Boland and Brockton Packard in row 3. Curtis goes to the high side, Minto to the bottom. That was a fairly smart move for the 13 Chevy, because now he will have the points leader behind him in that number 1 Chevy, Mike McConville. 67 Chevy of Sam Bolin up there in P6, up 25 spots. Pace car is in, and Trent Curtis with the button stacks up the field, waits to the very last second. Almost got run over by McConville as he was holding him down for quite a while here. Brandon Minto able to kind of take advantage here, get up to P2. Doc McConville side by side. And Parker Resloff went from the high side to the bottom, and he is looking to go inside the top 10, and he does. P4 at the moment. Not even a lap under green, and he's already made up 4 spots from where he started on that last caution. He is all over the back there of the 97. He's going to split him. I thought he was going to try and split him 3 wide there. Thought better of it. He lost a little bit of his run there, but he is still running P4. Got the 12 of Minto and the 97 of Chalk. He's got McConville behind him. Working through lap 106 here. '06 of Lafreniere going to the high side, able to make the pass. Gonna stay up there, squeeze up against the wall. Parker Resloff moves down just a little bit, allows him the wall. That 06 machine is inches away from that wall, and he is making it work as he is up into the top 5, running P4 now as Resloff goes back to P5. Got Curtis, Minto, Chalk. 1, 2, 3. Back and take a look and see what's happening back towards the back part of the field as there's lots of jostling for position. Got Morgan, Mackin, Claude, and Herring all kind of battling here. It's a little loose. Does the 01 of Matt Mack in there. Here. What happened to the 01 here? 31. Oh, one just tags his bumper there. Chris Claude with him as well. Everybody stayed going the right direction, but not exactly what the leaders wanted to see here. It looks like everybody's going to come down. Well, majority of them are going to come down pit lane. Looks like a couple are staying out. Minto, Bolin, and Call all stay out. So We've got Minto, Bolin, and Call that all elected to stay out. They last pitted on lap. Well, Minto and Bolin last pitted on lap 92. Austin Call pitted 10 laps later after he was involved in that caution on 102. Then you have Dennis Mickelson, who just came down pit lane. Looks like he just took fuel only, as he was only in his pit box for 5.4 seconds. Then you got Trent Curtis, Retzloff, Lafreniere, McConville. Looks like Tyler Chalk also spent 14 seconds, so got his set of tires and fuel. Ron Fitting, only 9 seconds in the box, so maybe got right sides only. Like everybody else took a set of 4, so we'll see how this works out for the top 4 as they are on older tires. I don't know that I would want to be on older tires here. 20 lap old tires for Minto and Bolin, and probably the same for Mickelson, especially when you have Trent Curtis, Parker Retzloff, Mike McConville back there that have all been running towards the front and running pretty quick lap times here, and they took a set of tires. So we will we'll see how this works here. Bolin and Call both up 29 and 27 positions respectively there. Mickelson up a couple. John Wilco up 21 spots in that 62 Chevy, running P13 as the pace lights are out on the car. Minto takes the high side, Bolin on the bottom. We got Call Mickelson. We got Trent Curtis. And Parker Retzloff on that high side as well. Once again, thank everybody for joining us on the YouTube chat. What are your predictions here for this race? Will Parker Retzloff be able to roll off win number 8 in a row? Or will another driver be able to get it done here in Chicagoland? Okie native Brandon Minto with the button. Pace car is in. Geico restart zone in effect, and he is down and away. He got a pretty good jump on the high side here. Didn't take long for Trent Curtis to pull down, go 3 wide on the bottom. Parker Retzloff stuck behind the 25 there of Dennis Mickelson, so that's going to slow him down. But the 13 machine of Trent Curtis is able to make pretty quick work here as he is down on the bottom, and he is looking for the lead, and he is looking for it now. He will do just that, and it looks like Retzloff lost a few positions as he got stacked up there, stuck behind a couple drivers, but he is trying to make pretty quick work of it, stay out of trouble, as it looks like the 06 of Lafreniere is driving pretty hard into the corners here with Austin Call just in front of him. Now Retzloff goes down to the inside. Austin Call pulls down in front. Lafreniere stays on the high side here. Minto inside, outside. But all this battling is allowing Trent Curtis to pull away, and he is out to a half-second lead now. And he wants to build that up as quick as possible. He does not want the 5 of Parker Retzloff to get through and get by these guys, because once he does that, and we are under caution once again here, 7th caution of the day. what happened back here to Chris Claude. That 10 machine is tore up here. Don Wilco down there. Oh, Claude got a little loose. See that rear end sliding just a bit. The 95 gives him a little tap. Not much he could do. He was just riding around here. And Claude goes into the outside wall. 63 is able to avoid it. 35 gets by the 01. Oh, the 4 just nowhere to go. Hoping that the 10 would slide down the track, and he just didn't do it. John Bawalda down on the inside, getting by, going through the grass. Take a little bit of a different view here. Let's go to the cockpit. Chris Claude just got a little loose there. Came down. Nowhere for him to go. Austin Collop, 27 positions, still hanging on here inside the top 5. See if anybody decides to take this caution and come down pit lane. Looks like everybody's staying out, except for the ones involved in the incident here. Back up here in a minute. Well, Trent Curtis is in a pretty good position here. He's got a couple cars between himself and the other drivers that have taken 4 tires on lap 110. Mento hanging on here, though, after pitting on lap 92. So, wonder what his strategy is going to be, as he is running a little bit different than anybody else here. If he's going to try and make it close to that halfway point, try and have fresher tires for the end of the race to make his run later on. And Curtis will take the top, Mento on the bottom. So 2 by 2 they go. Retzloff up 1 row from the last restart here. $80 laps left in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity race here. I thank everybody for tuning in as always. Make SRM your home 6 nights a week. Soon to be 7 once it comes October. Driver I'm going to be watching once again on this restart is going to be this 25 machine as well. Looks like he has about the same far as lap old tires as the 12 machine. As he came down, looks like for fuel only spent just over 5 seconds in his pit box. Brandon Minto also came down on lap 92 was the last time he was in. But here we go, Trent Curtis with the button, and he is down and away. And we are green flag racing once again here in the Xfinity Series. And take Parker Resloff long to go down to the inside. 3 wide on the bottom goes that 5 machine. As he is already looking for the top 2 here. Brandon Minto to his outside. Austin Call behind him. Gabriel Lafane also back there as well. And now he is up to P2. He said he was going to be up here battling for the win, and he will be doing just that here on lap 121, headed to lap 122. Austin Call trying to hang on to this top 5, up 26 positions from where he started after not having a qualifying lap. Brandon Minto trying to hang around as well. Lafane goes up to the high side, going to make that pass. Mike McConville also looking to get past Austin Call here. Trying to find his way around the track, and they are battling pretty tough back here as well. We have the 3 of Ron Fitting and Tyler Chalk. We also have the 67 of Sam Boland trying to hang on here at up 22 spots. Take advantage of a couple pit stop strategies as he is just inside that top 10. Ethan Ball in the 96 Chevy up a couple spots as well. John Wilco, number 62, up 20 spots as he's looking for more. .21 drivers left on the lead lap. Trent Curtis driving away here. Interesting to see if Curtis is using up all of his tires, trying to get as far away from that 5 Chevy as he can. Minto hanging on as well, as he is on the oldest tires of this front group. And he is still running fairly competitive lap times. 31:37 last time by. Parker Resloff with 31:34. Trent Curtis at 31:21. So not too much time is separating them, as Mintos and Lafane are also side by side. McConville kind of minding his business back here. They're moving around quite a bit here. Sam Boland slid up in front of the 97 of Tyler Chalk. Don't know that there was a whole lot of room there, but he kind of forced his way in there. Maybe made Tyler have to check up just a little bit, as he is running 3 wide in the middle, right in that sucker hole, and he is going backwards. Slowly but surely. And he gets down to the inside, just in front of John Wilco. Austin Call kind of stuck in the middle as well. Still running the line he wants, but that 67 is hard on his inside. Side by side they go. Austin Call slowed up just a little bit. Tyler Chalk almost got into the back of him. He was inches away from making a hard little bump there. Parker Resloff, like he's slowing down just a little bit, maybe trying to save tires. Maybe he's not going to make a pit stop here and just keep the fuel he has and tires he has, so he's trying to save the tires as best he can. This is going to be the most laps they've had on tires if they stay, if it stays green here and everybody stays out. Afranays up into P2 behind Trent Curtis. Minto into the wall, slides around just a little bit. Going to hang on to P4. Michael Conville trying to close in as well, as he is up inside the top 5 now. 23 Toyota of Derek Buchhorn is also up 19 spots now as he is looking to get inside that top 5. Brockton Packard up 11 spots right now. Michael Conville running P4. He's looking to close in on Parker Retzlaff. Here they go battling a little bit. Side by side, chalk and call. And just in front of them, you have Mickelson and Bolin. Packard within reach. And Minto starting to lose a little bit of ground. Might be time to rethink that pit strategy, or he's banking on a caution here within the next, say, 10-15 laps. Then he'll make his money stop and get back to going in the right direction. Bolin, Mickelson. Is losing a ton of speed now. His last lap time was a 32.27 to the leaders 31.94, so losing a couple tenths a lap, and it's only going to get worse, I believe, because I don't think the leaders are running as fast as they can. They might be trying to save a little bit of tire here. As Trent Curtis just ran a 32 flat for his last lap. Lafreniere 32.01, so pretty similar lap times there. Retzlaff and McConville also running similar lap times as Retzlaff gets back up into P2. McConville's going to follow him there and take over the 3rd position. It looks like Ethan Ball's going to be battling here with the 12 of Brandon Minto. Minto fading like somebody just threw out a parachute here as he is going backwards in a hurry. After starting on the front row, he is now running P11. P12 is Dan Morgan also is going to get by the 12 machine. Looks like the 3 is looking to close the gap as well as the 12 gets right back by 72 Chevy of Dan Morgan. Drivers left on the lead lap as they are battling all over the track. Convo and Retzlaff kind of running together, running similar times. Nobody really pushing each other too hard here. They got just over 60 laps to go here in this race. Looks like the 06 of Lafreniere might have burned up his tires just a little bit as he is starting to lose time. As a 23, Derek Corn and the 63 of Brockton Packard are closing in on that 06 machine. Dan Bolin also up 24 spots, running P7 right now as he is trying to hang out inside the top 10. Dennis Mickelson is going a little bit backwards as well. It looks like he only took fuel only on that last pit stop, so he is still on those old tires. Not exactly where you want to be, and just up front, these guys are still battling pretty hard here as Thorne and Packard are both on the inside trying to get by the 06 Walker Man. I think they will do pretty much just that as 23 slides up in front. 97 Kubota Chevy also looking to get by. They're 3 and 4 wide here almost. Everybody's looking for a spot to go. Looking, and just now, Parker Retzloff back to the point. 13 Chevy tried as hard as he could, but now it is going to be a 2-driver race here as Rick Curtis gets into that outside wall, bangs off it just a little bit. It's going to allow Mike McConville to get up into P2. So now we have the man who has dominated the last 7 races leading the race, our points leader, back into second in that number 1 Chevy. As they work their way through here, we're going to step aside, go side by side. You won't miss anything, and we'll be back after this.
There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen One Lawn Care. Preen One does away with the hassle of multiple bags of different products. It has everything you need for a beautiful lawn in one bag. And all it takes is one application. For season-long weed control and feeding, apply the granules when the lawn is wet and weeds are actively growing. It blocks crabgrass all season. It prevents crabgrass seeds from growing. It kills the seedlings too, even when applied 4 weeks after they sprout. It's your best defense against tough weeds like dandelion, chickweed, henbit, and hundreds more. Plus, its slow-release formula feeds the lawn evenly for months to build stronger roots for maximum heat and drought resistance. Preen One delivers convenience and better performance in one package with one application. Spend more time enjoying your lawn and less time working on it. Preen One, and it's done. It's a lawn dream come true.
Imagine a theater experience so real you're part of the action. Breakthrough technology that shakes your seat at precisely the right moment so you can feel the action on the screen. Choose 4D cinemas powered by Butt Kicker for the ultimate theater experience. And for the ultimate in movies, gaming, and sports at home, add your own Butt Kicker. A simple, wireless, affordable device that takes just seconds to install. Text the word on the screen right now to receive a special offer. Get Butt Kicker and feel what you've been missing.
Welcome back, everybody, to Monday Night NASCAR's Xfinity Series live on Sim Racing Media. We have had a handful of pit stops being made here as Ethan Ball, Braxton Packard, Eric McCorn all come down. Mike McConville, John Crow Sr., Brandon Minto all made their way down pit lane. Within the last few laps here, it looks like Parker Resloff, Trent Curtis both coming down as well. They will get set and wrap this race up here on this money stop. Lafreniere staying out a lap here. Tyler Chalk also there. See who else comes in. Everybody should be coming in sometime soon here, trying to get the balance of tires versus when the race is going to end. Coming out of the pits here. The 06 staying out a couple more laps. Looks like Dan Morgan, John Wilco, Ron Fitting, Michael Pardelay all came in. Matt Mackin also in. Left just off. He is back on the lead lap. He stayed out 2 laps longer than Mike McConville here. And now he has a couple second lead over the one machine. Lafreniere is leading the race here. Has not made a pit stop since lap 110. You see the one to get by. Tyler Chalk all just came in. And Parker Resloff, a 30.70 fastest lap of the race. Still in his pit box. We have 2 drivers that have not made their way down pit lane. The 06 and the 43. 43 did start on the front row, started P2, got involved in the early incident, not of his own doing. But he has been battling hard ever since as he comes down pit lane here. Lafreniere staying out. So he is the only driver to not hit pit lane. He has got a 26-second lead over the 5 Chevy of Parker Resloff. But that gap is diminishing and diminishing in a hurry. The race right now is going to be between the 5 of Parker Resloff, the 13 of Trent Curtis, and the 1 of Mike McConville, as they are all within 3.5 seconds. It might take a miracle to beat Parker, as he has had that lucky horseshoe, and he is looking to win his 8th race in a row. He sat on the pole each of the last 8 races. He has, I think he has 9 poles and looking for 9 wins this season. So we'll see what that 5 Chevy can do with these last 38 laps. Looks like Trent Curtis is slowly starting to pull away from the 1 machine. He's out to almost a half-second lead. And then they have a 2-second lead to Brandon Minto. These guys are probably going to need to catch some luck here in order to catch that 5 Chevy of Parker Resloff. He is looking to sweep the stages and the race win. And Dennis Mickelson running P6. Ken Bolin, plus 24, biggest mover of the race in that 67 machine. He has been driving fairly well. Last lap was a 31.75, so lost a little bit of time, but still running fairly competitive times as well. Look, the field's going by. I believe that's Bawalda there, down on the inside. Bawalda's made a ton of laps up. I believe at one point he was 6 laps down, and now he is 4 laps down? Maybe it was even more than that at one point. +4 for the 12 Ford, as his fan club in the chat, as I'll say as usual, because Dave's usually the guy in the stand here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial broadcast booth. We're going to see how far the 06 of Gabriel Lafreniere are electing to push this ride. He's got a 18-second lead. He's all over the back of the 95, John Crow Sr. here. Last lap there was a 32.70 for the 06. Parker Resloff's last lap. Comes by the start-finish line here was a 31.76, so almost a second faster for the 5 Chevy than the 06 Chevy. I mean, I did say you have to do something different in order to beat the 5 of Resloff there, but I don't know that this is the right call here. He does have 16-second lead, but at a second a lap, he is going to run out of time here. And that's if he even has enough fuel to make it to the end. I don't believe he does. And he is coming down pit lane, so that is going to give the lead to the 5. See what happened here. Whoa. Oh, and Claude Berlin got contacted as well. Trying to drive by. He's a 95, and there's just nowhere for him to go as he gets tapped there, sent into the wall. And around he goes. Like everybody came down pit lane except for, well, I'd say except for the top two, but Lafreniere was the first one. He was on pit lane when that caution came out, or just coming off of it. Ron Fitting stayed out in the 3 Toyota, last pitted on lap 155. So it looks like we'll have a couple drivers electing to stay out and take the wave around. Looks like John Bawalda is going to do that. And it looks like also Ron Fitting decided to come down pit lane. So inside 30 laps to go here. There goes the wave around cars. Lights are out on the pace car. Lafreniere takes the not sure exactly what happened. This happened one time before. They will. I think they're going to extend the caution here. Everybody gets stacked back up. And that happened one time before here on the iRacing service. It's a little error that sometimes happens depending on when the caution comes out. It should be getting ready to stack back up again. So the rest of these drivers get by here. Still unsure of what is happening here. Like they're gonna make the not sure what's going on. Race control is trying to sort it out here. Race control working hard here to get these guys stacked back up, ready to go where they are supposed to be here. Get the lap cars towards the back of the pack here. Get the leaders all stacked up, ready to go once again. They'll turn those lights off on that pace car, and they'll be ready to let them roll here for the final just over 20 laps. Light should go out this time by, and we'll get them ready to roll here. So it looks like it's old school single file restart here, which I'm assuming it's not going to take them too long to get back to double file, two wide racing here for the win. Pace car's going to make that left-hand turn down pit lane. Lafreniere is going to have the button as he hits that Geico restart zone, and we are back under green flag conditions. We are racing here at Chicagoland. And as I said, that it didn't take too long for that one machine to pull out, go down to the bottom of the 13. Parker Retzlaff also down to the inside. Lafreniere is going to have to battle and hold on for all he can, as the 5 machine has been the strongest car in the field tonight. And he is back to the point. Looks like Dennis Mickelson has lost a ton of ground as he is fading back just outside the top 10 now. Brendan Minto running 5th at the moment, and still side by side for the lead is Lafreniere and Retzlaff. We are completing lap 78, getting to 79 here. 13 drives clear down on the apron, trying to get as much speed as he can. Trent Curtis making his way up into P3, trying to hold off McConville here. And McConville has a little bit of a run. The 12 of Brandon Minto also up here. Resloff making that high line work. The 13 of Trent Curtis goes up with him. And here comes the one up to the rear bumper of the 13. Curtis holding on for all he can to the rear bumper there of the 5 of Resloff. Lafreniere had the perfect strategy, had that caution come out at just the right time, and now he is going to be battling for a podium himself here. Brandon Minto trying to close in and close that gap and take away P3 here. Mike McConville running P5 at the moment. 18 laps to go here in the Monday Night Xfinity Series. Parker Resloff has found his line, and he is beginning to pull away. He's out to 0.2 of a second, almost 3 over Trent Curtis and Brandon Minto. Minto trying to hang on here to get himself a podium. Michael Conville trying to increase his points lead. It's going right now. It's going to tighten up on the points. It was only 2 to begin with anyway. Ethan Ball down to the inside, going to make the pass on Lafreniere for the top 5 here. Biggest mover of the race is back there in 9th, and that's a 62 Chevy of John Wilco. Wilco up a 25 spots tonight. Austin Call up 19. Hondo going down to the inside, going to try and get by Brandon Minto. Still side by side, the 1 and the 12. $15 laps to go. Parker Resloff is looking to close the door here and sweep the Chicagoland stages and race win. Going forward to Brandon Minto, trying to hang on here. The Okie native is trying to keep that 12 machine inside the top 4. He was battling hard for a podium spot, but these 3 drivers that are in front of McConville, Curtis, and Resloff have just had the class of the field tonight. Conville goes down to the inside, going to try and get by 13 Chevy here, and he will do just that as they come into turn 1. Parker Resloff has put away the field, and he has got to be just Being told, hit your marks. You are all clear. Go back through the field a little bit. We got some battling back here. Just inside the top 10. Lafreniere trying to hang on to the top 10 here. Hit pit lane at exactly the right time, right when that caution came out. Was able to take advantage and start up front. Otherwise, he would have been mired back in the field back in 19th or 20th. But he comes out, and he is the control car after that caution. Now he is running P7 right now. He does have the 63 Chevy of Brockton Packard, trying to make his way up inside. The 97 of Tyler Chalk also trying to get there. Biggest mover of the race, like I said once before, is inside the top 10, the 62 of John Wilco. But back up front, it is all Parker Resloff. Now Mike McConville is starting to pull away from Trent Curtis. Trent Curtis has the 96 Chevy of Ethan Ball. Haven't talked about this 96 most of the night, but he is now inside the top 5 looking for a podium spot, and he is going to have to try and take it from Trent Curtis here. 9 laps to go as we get ready to roll here. The action is going to heat up more and more as the laps go down. Ethan Ball is going to go to the high side. He's going to take away P3. Trent Curtis had a little bit of a bobble there. He got his car back under control, and now he is going to have to go on the attack if he wants to wind up on the podium here tonight. Brandon Minto is sitting pretty good here inside the top 5 as he is hanging on here. He's got almost 3/4 of a second back to the 23, Derek McCorn, as he is running P6, up 19 spots. Them to go. Six now that we get by the start-finish line. And that gap is now widening as he's got to make up 1.25 seconds. Does the one of Mike McConville. He's got about a second gap back though to Ethan Ball there. And Trent Curtis is losing positions left and right. Brandon Minto is up to P4 now, as a 13 bounces hard off that outside wall. He is not loving his car right now. Not sure what happened to that 13 Chevy. He was running up inside the top 3 most of the night, battling hard for the lead, and now he is fading back. He is running P5. Looks like he might even be in danger of losing that. Like our top 3 are pretty close here as we have 4 to go. 3 to go when we get to the line. Had a little bit of lap traffic up in front of him, but nothing at the moment. Hondo holding tight to P2. Ethan Ball, pretty good there. P4. 14 again bounces off that wall. We have 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air for Parker Retzloff as he comes to the start-finish line to take the white flag. Final lap here at Chicagoland. No pressure, nobody around. Domination here by the 5 Chevy. Made a little mistake there at the second stage break. Stayed out when he should have came down pit lane. Didn't matter. And Parker Retzloff is going to come through 3 and 4, and he is going to win here at Chicagoland. Ethan Ball and the 12 machine of Brandon Minto round out the top 4. Tyler Chalk finishes P5. Bunkaway 5 wins another one here in the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series. As Parker burns it down, we'll see if we can talk to the top 3 here, get them up in the booth. Hey, Ethan, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Hey, man, well, that was a heck of a run. Didn't really see you up towards the front until the end of the race when it mattered. How was that 96 Chevy out there tonight?
Man, it was up and down all race, honestly. I felt like stage 1, I felt decently fast, and then I tried to make adjustments in stage 2. It just got way too tight. But then stage 3 was a little chaotic, and track position was king all day. Over the course of those cautions, just got up to like 10th, and hovered there most of the race. Just able to capitalize on the long run there at the end.
Yeah, it definitely looked like tire management was something that was going to come to fruition as we saw several drivers work their way from the back to the front after fading early in the run. But we put Chicagoland in the rearview mirror. How are you feeling about the rest of the season here?
Oh man, I mean, we've been on a pretty good tear here recently, and I'm just hoping to continue the momentum and get some more podiums, and hopefully keep it interesting for the points championship.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your P3 finish. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Lenders.com, all the JAR TCR teammates I got. Parker Retzloff too, for always giving some good feedback on how to make these things go faster. And for everybody watching, appreciate you guys putting on the broadcast.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again, and maybe we'll talk to you later in the season.
Thanks, man.
Yep, later. All right, let's see if we can get up to our second place finisher. Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Going pretty good, Mike. How we doing, buddy?
Oh, not too bad. Hey, that was a heck of a run there. Looked like you were able to kind of work your way back and forth through the field almost as you pleased. But you were able to kind of hang on there at the end, come away with P2. But one question I'm sure you get asked almost every week: what are you going to have to do to beat that 5 Chevy?
I'm gonna have to go down to North Carolina and sabotage his sim rig. It seems like, because man, I threw the book at this setup. The weather was playing so much of a hassle. The sun would be out for 20 laps, then it'd go away. Then the tornado cloud cover came in, and that messed everything up. I was plowing the last 50 laps, and I was throwing changes at it when I came in for my green. And man, we got it close for that final run. But man, that guy in that 5 car, there's a reason he does it for real.
Yeah, definitely. He comes out and he kind of shows you guys how to run, and looks like everybody in here has gotten better with him being here. But just a little bit short, but you still have your championship lead, I do believe, still intact. So we'll see how
Yes,
that
sir. I think
goes
we,
through the rest of the season, man.
I think we expanded it a little bit. I think we had like 3 or 4 spots on Minto in each stage, and I think he finished 5th tonight. So we definitely pulled out, got a little bit of a breathing room, especially coming up to some of my weaker tracks, especially Watkins Glen in a few weeks. That's not a great track for me. And then Daytona to end the season, the regular season at least. That's always a toss-up. Getting those championship bonus points for being P1 at the end of the regular season is going to be real big, especially with Parker racking in all these bonus points.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been on a tear. I was looking at it. I'm like, man, has he made a mistake? I mean, short tracks, speedways, road courses. I mean,
The funny thing is he has a couple times. He's just that good to overcome them.
yeah, it's even
Yeah.
when I talked to him after winning that stage, he's like, yeah, I didn't mean to stay out, but he still wound up working his way back through the field. You guys put on a show, though. Congrats on your P2 finish. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Always, I got to thank the sponsor on the car, the place I work during the daytime when the sun's out, produce place. If you ever need hoagies, lunch meat, really anything, North Cape May, New Jersey, across the street from the Wawa, diagonally. We got deals every week. Check the website, Facebook. We got Twitter. I got to pick that up a little bit. I've been a little slacking these past few weeks because, we've been off. I want to thank you guys for always putting on a great broadcast. Sad Dave's not here, but I hear he's slumming it up down in Myrtle Beach, I think.
Yep.
So I hope I know he was watching a little bit, so I hope we put on a good show for him. I want to thank the admins, Chris, always putting on this league. It's always fun to come in here, and this is probably one of the better races we've had all season. Got a little muddy there in the second stage, but man, tonight was hella fun, and I already want to fire up next week.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again on your P2 finish, and we'll see what you can do by the end of the season here.
Appreciate you, brother man.
All right, now we'll go jump in with our race winner. Oh, Parker, Mike up in the booth once again. You put on a show.
Yeah, I mean, that was a wild race from my mistake I made in not pitting. So I kind of sat there and chilled for the whole race until that final, 20-lap run there where I just went hard to the end to where I didn't feel like I had the best short run car. I just had to drive as hard as I could and hopefully stay out front.
It definitely seemed like you found something there towards the end when you got 20 to go there, like you said. But all those cautions, did that kind of help or did that hurt after you were back in the field a little ways?
Yeah, I mean, I think the cautions helped me when after I was trying to get through the field because I just was going so hard to pass cars that just it cooling down my tires kind of helped me a little bit. But as soon as I got back to the lead, I wanted the race to stay green because I felt like I was, my strong suit was the long runs of the race. So I didn't like to see the yellow with 20 to go there, but I just had to drive as hard as I could to keep the lead.
Yeah, it looked like you were sitting there waiting for it just to stay green. And then Lafreniere there had the luck of being on pit lane when that caution came out, so he was able to stay up front. You battled him for a few laps. What are your plans for the rest of the season? Are you going to be able to battle for a championship here, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make every race I can. I don't know if I will miss any throughout the year, but I'm going to try and make every race I can and hopefully race for a championship.
Definitely sounds like a plan. Well, anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight, Parker?
Just Funko and everyone at Team Rogue.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again on, I believe it's 8 in a row. So, on a tear. We will talk to you probably later in the season, but congrats again, and talk to you later.
Thank you.
Well, that is it for tonight. Let's see if we can get this result here up on the screen. Race number 20 in the book here at Chicagoland. Parker once again threw down a massive win. 8 in a row, 9 on the season. Swept all the stages and got the pole. We'll see what he can do later on in the season. Mike McConville up to second. Expanded the points lead just a little bit as Brandon Minto wound up finishing 4th. Ethan Ball rounded out the podium in the top 3 there. Tyler Chalk, Trent Curtis, 5th and 6th. Brockton Packard in 7th. Lafreniere, after coming out of that last caution on the lead, fades to finish 8th. Derek Picorn in 9th. Austin Call with a top 10. John Wilco, Dan Morgan, Ron Fitting, Steve Herring up 19 spots there as well. Running P14. Matt Mackin rounds out that top 15. Then you got Dennis Mickelson, Tyler Sexton, Sam Bolin is the first car a lap down. Andrew Deemer, John Bawalda, Michael Parladay, Keith Black, Chris Claude, Sylvan Jolie, Aaron Mack, the top 25. Daniel Monahan, Nick Hansen, John Crow Sr. rounds out the top 28. Claude Furlan started P2, had a couple incidents there, finishes off the pace there in 29th. Tony Burt in 30th. Cody Morgan, rough night towards the end of the race there as well, finishes 31st. Randall Watkins, Rich Jett, Richard Brett, and RP Allen closes out the field, 149 laps down. But with that being said, I want to thank Dave for allowing me the privilege of filling in for him while he's down in Myrtle Beach. He will be back next week. But from all the drivers of the Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night. I'll see you next time.